Hi. Am I early? I know we agreed on 4 o'clock, but sitting in that waiting room was awful. I felt like everyone was staring at me. Okay, that's good. Thank you. Right, I guess I should explain why I wanted to see you so urgently. I know you said there are other people out there. Potential partners, plenty more fish in the sea, but I don't want them. Why should I have to find a new connection when my ex is still out there, laying by someone else's side? I still love them. Those kinds of feelings don't just subside. You can't snap your fingers and turn them off. You know, I find it fascinating how powerful the mind can be. When I was a kid, I used to imagine myself getting out of bed, turning off my alarm clock, brushing my teeth, and then I'd come back to reality and realize I hadn't moved at all. But it was such a vivid image that I could practically feel the cool tiles under my bare feet, taste the mint of the toothpaste. It was in such perfect detail that I could never quite believe it had been just a fantasy. That, without realizing it, I'd physically stopped an intrusive noise and then gotten lost in my own head again. As I grew up, my mind started to wander to darker places. I'd visualize my friends in horrific scenarios like having accidents at work or on the road. I'd fall so deep into those thoughts that I'd snap out of them with a dry mouth and a pounding heart. It was a relief to ground myself again, to understand that nothing bad had actually happened. Some people drink or take drugs to experience that kind of thing. I never needed any, in fact. A clear head is the ideal condition for a scenario to manifest. Maybe I should start drinking, or do something to get rid of this intense sobriety. No. I don't think you understand how crowded my head is. If you knew how loudly these voices were screaming, you'd encourage me to do anything I could to shut them up. Having said that, they've been quiet since yesterday. I think they're in shock. I think we both are. You want to know? I know that confidentiality states that what I say stays between us, but I'm struggling to deal with this myself. I don't want to put the burden on your shoulders, too. All right. I'll tell you. Yesterday I saw my ex with their new boyfriend. They looked so happy together. I think they might really love them. I didn't stand a chance, so I tried to leave them alone. I did, but damn! I couldn't help myself. I sat down and fantasized about ripping them away from each other, tearing them apart, watching the blood splatter the walls as I took them away from them, just like he took them away from me. But then, that fantasy changed. I started thinking that if I couldn't have them, no one should. What right did they have to be happy without me? What did they do to deserve it? I pictured myself following them to an empty room, drawing a knife and painting the floor with words of my love in their blood. I could feel them squirming as I buried the blade between their ribs. I could hear them grasping, coughing, choking, begging, screaming, and then there was silence. The silence didn't last long. Their boyfriend came running in, and unfortunately for him, he impaled himself on the knife in the process. It was a shame to taint their blood with his, but he was shouting, swearing, wide-eyed, and staggering around. And then suddenly, the silence was back. Thick, heavy. The only thing I could hear was my own breathing. The only thing I could feel was my own heartbeat. I thought I'd snap out of it once I'd committed my crime of passion, but no matter how many times I tried to wake up, the fantasy didn't go away. The blood didn't go away. The bodies didn't go away. But I did it all for love. I did it all for us. Now that they're gone, they can never leave me. Don't you see? No one can take them away from me now. I'd rather be in hell than alone.